This is the IYV IVS-300 SG style guitar. Let's hear what it sounds like. Hey, it's Carl. Welcome back to the No Shred Zone. So yes, this is the IYV IVS-300 SG style guitar in a cherry red. Big shout out to Anthony from the Patreon for gifting this guitar to me. Really excited to do this review. I've been wanting to check out this kind of, I guess, Amazon brand for a while. So, and I love SGs. Anyway, as you heard, sounds pretty good, but there are some flaws with this guitar, so let's talk about them. All right. I guess let's start at the top. That truss rod cover is a little ridiculous. Either make it plain or give it the, IVS 300 designation or something like that. The tuners are fine, but as you could see, kind of installed a little unevenly. So that is what it is. Very little information about this guitar, to be honest, on their listing. Apparently it's mahogany all throughout and Jatoba on the fretboard. One other negative. They have this ridiculous Destiny CNC wound text on the pickups, which, what is that about? Like, branding on the pickups is already bad enough if you're an off-brand, but touting the CNC you used, that's something else. Pickups sound okay though. I'll talk about those in a moment, but one other flaw. Yeah, I'll put a photo up on the screen here because it's not going to come across well if I show you the video, but the stop bar tailpiece, it's not pushed in all the way, and I wasn't able to push it in all the way. So the way they drilled the hole, maybe it wasn't deep enough or whatever it is. I will say I'm not really having any tuning stability issues or anything like that. So it's not like it's loose or causing any issues there, but it's not ideal, obviously, when parts aren't installed well. So is what it is. Now, as you can see, has one volume, one tone control, three-way switch, and two humbuckers. Let's talk about what I liked about this guitar. All right, it's under 200 bucks. It's like 180, I think, usually. Frets were really nice. Now, Anthony had this guitar. Long story. Point is, or the gist of it is, he had it sitting for about a year and he didn't play it. So I don't know if out of the box the frets were oxidized or if that just happened over time, but I did give them a polish. But no sharp frets, no high frets, no issues like that. So as far as that goes, they did a nice job there. No like finish flaws or anything like that. The finish looks okay. It actually looks nice. I mean, Heritage Cherry is my favorite SG finish, and this does a respectable job of hitting that Heritage Cherry. As far as I'm concerned, now obviously I'd need to compare it directly to get a better idea. Also, I'm colorblind, so who even knows what any color is for me. I got the action where I wanted it. Setting up this guitar was really easy. Intonating it was easy. Haven't had any issues with it as far as anything like that. It was a smooth, easy setup job. So as far as that goes, not much you can complain about there. Now, yeah, really not much to complain about with this guitar, to be honest. Obviously, I was, I guess, nitpicking a little bit with some of those things, but yeah, overall, a totally decent budget guitar. The pickups, I will say, kind of standard cheap pickups, a little bit muddy, not ideal, but not a problem. You know, if you're getting a budget guitar, you're not going to hate it. As you heard, it sounds good, and as you'll hear, you know, it sounds good. That said, I'll leave a link in the description to the Fleor pickup video I did. I would, if I was to keep this guitar, since those Fleor pickups sound so good and they're so cheap, I would swap out at least the bridge pickup, which is the one I use the most. So that's what I would swap out. They're like $16 pickups or $15 pickups. Totally worth swapping them to make this guitar sound better. I honestly have very little else to say about it. As a budget SG, I really like this thing. I would definitely compare it to like the Firefly SG as far as feel, sound, build quality, all that type of thing. I would put it above the cheapest Epiphone SGs, you know, the similar price range Epiphone SGs. I did a review on the SG Special, for example. Totally, you know, respectable. I like that guitar, but I think this one looks better, feels better. The set neck is nicer than the bolt-on. So yeah, if I was budget constrained and I wanted an SG, this is a completely good one as far as that goes. So yeah, I'm gonna stop rambling and we'll get to some sounds. And one thing I do want to point out with the sounds is I have this guitar set up to D standard, one whole step down. So it's you know, it's a metal machine for me, and specifically it's an Iommi metal machine. So yeah, I tuned it down to D standard because well, why not? Thanks again to Anthony. Thanks to everybody on Patreon. Let's hear it. All right, so I've got this guitar playing through my Two Notes Revolt, and I also have a little bit of reverb on it through the Keeley Caverns, just a little bit. Let's give it some crunch.